I'm honored to be here today. It's an honor for me, and it's an honor for Loudoun County to talk about something remarkable that we're doing. And before I do that, I want to introduce some of the staff I brought with me. Mark Schultz, our zoning administrator. Chris Garcia, he is the community planning manager, and he is going to be the project manager for the new comprehensive plan, so you should see a lot of him. And John Merrithew is here, our assistant, right in the back by the bar. So he's not drinking that. So I have two dates up here that are very important because they mark a new beginning for Loudoun County, a new opportunity. And those dates represent one. The first date is the initiation, unanimous initiation by the Board of Supervisors to start a new comprehensive plan for Loudoun County. And there's two words I want you to look at there is unanimous. The board clearly, with this vote, said they want to engage the community in a process to plan out our future in Loudoun County. And so that's a really important thing to note. Secondly, a new comprehensive plan. And it's real important that the Board of Supervisors directed this for a new comprehensive plan because they want a fresh look at our community. It's been a long time since the last plan was updated. And so this community deserves a new look and innovative ideals to bring about solutions to the problems and issues we're facing and how we can move forward. The second date, April 21st, the board also, 9 members unanimously voted to approve a plan charter. And a plan charter is a plan on how to do the plan, okay? I know that sounds silly, but it's very important. In that, they agreed on the process that we were going to use, the organization, how the organization is going to work to get this done. They agreed upon the major topics they want this new comprehensive plan to address. They also agreed with the level of community engagement and the resources needed to carry this out. And so, like a strong executive board, they set forth the expectations that the staff needs to carry out. And so, what we're going to do is roll up our sleeves as a staff and work with the community to create this to present to our board. It's important to note this is a new comprehensive plan that has 2 major components. One is a new general plan that talks about the vision for our community, as well as the policies, the large policies about guiding growth and development in our community, as well as other things. Also, with that is a new comprehensive transportation plan. It is so important those be done at the same time because, as you know, transportation is a critical component in order to support the land uses that are being planned. This new comprehensive plan has certain characteristics or certain themes about it. One, it's an engaging process, okay? There's a lot of talented people in here, smart people here as well as in the community. It's important that we take the time to engage everyone to have an equal opportunity to participate in this process. And so that's important to bring about a successful plan. Uniting. I know there's a lot of, could be a lot of diverse interest out there and a lot of opposites out there. Nothing like a new comprehensive plan to bring the community together and unite us for a vision for our community. Then the next one, balance. It was important when the board set up a stakeholders committee to move this plan and develop this plan that it be balanced and represent various views. And that's the only way we're going to develop a real effective plan to move forward. It's not to say that we're not going to have a lot of healthy discussions, but that's really important for leading us through this. Predictability, that I know, I'm sure that's of interest to you. I have never built a building. I've never planned a subdivision. I've never built a shopping center. And it is you out there that build our community. And I thank you for your investment in Loudoun County. And so you deserve, as a county, investing in our county, because it is a risk that you take, you deserve a predictable and reliable process. And this new plan will help us move closer to that. exciting. I want to emphasize that we need to make this an exciting process. And I know it's a challenging thing with a new comprehensive plan. I know y'all probably not that excited yet, but I hope you will be because yeah, there you go. He seems excited about it. So I want you to build that excitement. We are going to engage and try to market this plan and build it up throughout the process to get people to know how important it is for our community. What is a comprehensive plan? It's important to note that this is going to set the vision for our future. So, and don't shortchange a vision. From the vision, everything else falls in place. So it's important that we spend time focusing on what we need to do as a community and where we're going. Then, of course, after it's done, it's going to be an important guide for you to make investments in our community, as well as a guide for our decision makers on development proposals. And also, most importantly, after it's done, that we're going to the next step to do a comprehensive update to a comprehensive rewrite of our zoning ordinance to help provide more predictability and flexibility. This typically takes a time horizon of 10 to 20 years. The power of a vision. This is a quote from our plan in 2001. And if you look at that, the Board of Supervisors set a vision for our community to be a prominent, sustainable community, a global crossroad for information technology, preserving historic and environmental heritage, but also creating a strong sense of community, robust economy, educational, recreational activities, and a superb place for families, individuals to live, learn, work, worship, invest, and visit. And we have reached that vision here. And so don't take that lightly. And that's why I want to engage you in this process, because this visioning process is going to be important for us as we move forward. Where are we now? So I want to give you some statistics that kind of put you to where we are as a community. As you can see, this ski jump here, this is our population growth. As you can see, we've had a significant rise from 1990 to 2010. In fact, we've over doubled our population between 2000 and 2016, and have had the ranking for 10 years in a row as the #2 fastest growing county in the nation. So that's pretty significant. And what does that look like? Well, I wanted to show you in 2002 how our community looked at, around within our suburban policy area and transition area. As you can see, not as much going on there, but then let's go to 2015, an explosive type of growth that built our community and what you see today. Of the single-family growth between 2000 and 2015, on the left is single-family detached. Over 50% of the single-family housing was done in the suburban policy area over toward the airport on that side in the east. Within the west, surprisingly, 19% of the single-family homes that were developed between this period were located in the rural area. So as you can see, that was pretty significant. Most of our townhome developments, as you see on the right, of course, occurred mostly in our suburban policy area. And of course, the different types of housing, we've got from rural estates to the diverse housing type we see in more of the suburban areas. Of course, our multifamily sprinkled about within our suburban policy area. With regard to age, we're slightly younger than the national average with regard to population. And I think that's one of the things that's important as we talk about our economic development opportunities, that we need to attract a younger population in order to be prepared for the future. We do have, within the region, we have the largest percentage of children under the age of 18, because we are a great place for families. And as you can see that we are in the green, we do have the lowest population group between 18 and 64, and the lowest between 65 and older. So we are slightly younger than the region, other regional counties. With regard to ethnicity, we had a pretty significant increase from 2000 to 2014 of our Asian population went from a little bit less than 6% to 17.5%. Within the Latino population, Spanish, Latino and Hispanic, 6% to 13%. So and we have probably 70% white right now when we had 85% in 2000. So we are becoming a more diverse community, and that's important to note. We've had really good job growth during that period, over 33,000 new jobs. We also have a very diverse economic base, which is really important as we move forward in the future. Plus, we see a really good trend in our non-residential development. Of course, a lot of that has to do with our data center, which is in the green there. Most of that is reflected of that square footage, but it is still promising on an upward rise. Another thing that's important too is trying to have people who live here work in the county. And so we are on an upward trend in that, and that's a real positive thing for me, for us as a community, going from 41% to almost half of our population, and so they don't have to stay in the traffic as much. And this is how we compare with other jurisdictions around the community. And we, of course, not like Fairfax. In fact, Fairfax has a lot more employment base and more people that live and work there. But we do outpace the other jurisdictions. Now I want to talk about the planned charter. And again, this is an important roadmap for our success in this process. And so the important things is I'm going to go over the topics that we're going to be exploring: organizational structure, outreach, process, schedule, and resources. Economic development, as you know, the suburban office market is dead, and we need to figure out what we're going to do with all the land that's zoned and all the property that suburban parks that are vacant. And we're going to need your help on some innovative concepts and things that we can do to move forward. We continue to have a strong rural economy, which is very important for us, and of course our data center market is still strong. But we still need to determine our diversity and what are the economic drivers, and how are we going to continue to grow economically. The transition area, of course, this is going to be the most controversial and most highly debated in our community about this transition area, which was designed to be between our suburban growth area and our rural area, to provide a transition between those two, highly dense to less dense. And so we do have a lot of land there, but the debate is, is that going to be a place for future growth for our county? And so that the board did provide us an opportunity to explore that and go out to the community and see what people think. Housing diversity, we've got to explore our workforce housing, and it's important that we provide the housing needed by millennials and baby boomers, and so that's going to be an important thing as we move forward. And one of the real exciting things about our new plan is that we're finally going to be able to address redevelopment and revitalization of our older areas. And we do have full board support in going forward with that. We are way behind in that. We don't have the policies, or we don't have the ordinances to bring about that. And there is so much potential in some of these older areas to bring new life to and they're in really great locations. I know it's really hard for redevelopment, so we as a county need to do what we can to make it easier. Suburban policy area, your topic mixed use today. I mean, that's a big place where that's going to occur and continue to occur, and so we need to explore how we can make it easier for that, but also we've got the Silver Line stations that are within our jurisdiction, which we've got a separate project going on right now, and I encourage you to engage in that if you're interested. You can also see Chris Garcia on that. But we are moving to do a small area plan for that and be finished by the end of this year. So it's important that you engage yourself about the new wave of growth to build around our metro stations. Of course, we've been really good and of investing in our communities for schools and parks and all the facilities that make our county very attractive with a high quality of life, and we need to continue that. Quality development, that's the one thing when I was, last February when I was driving through the community and I hadn't applied for the job yet, and I looked at it and I said, wow, this place is booming, but one other thing is they really care about the development and the quality of the development, and then I said to myself, well, this is a place I would be interested in working for. So here I am. So I'm really happy to be here. So we're going to need to build on that and continue it, but we also, the next topic with fiscal management, we have always tied our land use plan to our fiscal management of the county, and that's why we have such strong bond ratings, because we ensure that there is an adequate relationship between the growth that we're prepared for and the revenues we receive from development, as well as moving forward. And this is going to be an important topic because the county is spending tremendous amounts of funds on schools and other things to keep up with the growth. And that's leading into this next topic, growth management. I would challenge you that Loudoun County has always done growth management, but the board actually interjected this topic as we went through this process, because they see it as more important than ever now with the pace of growth and how we can accommodate it, and looking at infrastructure and looking at the expenditure of funds. And so with some limits on funding coming in from other reasons, this is going to be an important topic. Do we direct growth to certain areas that have more capacity, or how do we handle that is going to be important moving forward. And of course, we need to protect our environment with that balance of development and the environment and our heritage that we have in Loudoun County. Stakeholder committee, that's important because this is the first time where we're engaging a committee made up of real critical stakeholders in order to come up with a draft of the plan. And so that's going to build a buy-in from the community on this plan, because we've got the key stakeholders that represent major interest groups to balance the process and go through. So we have 2 planning commission members on it. We have 9 appointed citizens from the board on it, as well as 15 specific interest groups, and I'll show all those. And they range from the Chamber to the Housing Advisory Board to Loudoun Preservation and Conservation Coalition to Piedmont Environmental Council, Visit Loudoun. So a lot of different diverse views here, but in order for us to move forward, we need to get them at the table working through the issues and trying to provide a balanced approach, but yet move us forward. So we're really excited about this opportunity to work with this new committee as we move forward to developing the plan. Process, you want to know how long it's going to take. Well, we're projecting a minimum of 18 months, and so we're hopeful to start really the process officially with a public outreach in October, with meetings throughout the county to gather initial feedback. So from that point, we're going to be working with the stakeholders committee and go through developing the plan, and then get it through within the 18-month period. The engagement process, like I said, we have to be where people are, and so it's going to be highly high tech, and we're going to make sure we have online public meetings. We have various ways to participate, and a lot of people don't want to come out to a public meeting, so we're going to have an incredible, robust opportunity for people to share their views. We're also going to reach out to individual groups that make up a pretty substantial group that are not maybe represented on the stakeholders, and go out on the road and talk with them and gather feedback. So, and lastly, the important thing is this is a heavy lift. So we're going to hire consultants. The full price tag is about $1.6 million. And I know you think, wow, that's a lot of money, but that includes both the planning assistance with a consultant as well as the transportation update. But it's going to be important to have a consultant to help the staff with significant economic development analysis as well as the outreach process. So in conclusion, Chairman Randall, when she came on board, one of the things that she spoke highly of and emphasized is that we're one Loudoun, one county. We're not east or west, every section of our county is dependent on each other, and so it's important that we keep that in mind as we go through this process, that we are one county, and this plan, it represents one county as we move forward, because we can't be successful in the east or west if we don't have each other to rely on. And we deserve that for our future to do that. So I challenge you, I'm going to challenge everyone in the process to keep an open mind and to be open to valuing the differences, because there are going to be a lot of differences in this plan. In order for us to facilitate that, we need your help. Because like I said, you put a lot of investment here, and we want to understand that and understand your views as well as the views of other people in order for us to be successful. So I encourage you to get engaged and to stay engaged in this process, and that is going to be essential. So again, I'm honored to be here, and I'm really glad to have this opportunity to build excitement for this process, and I hope that you will take the time to get engaged. Thanks.